I didn't really know Gib Bickle very well. He was the owner, and then he sold the Laughing Ogre comic shop here in Columbus, Ohio. Gib was a fantastic supporter of the local self-made comics and zine scene. Gib apparently passed away because he didn't get checked early enough for colon cancer. I was a year late in getting my system checked out, and when I did, my doctor found that I not only had a mass the size of a tennis ball, but I also had a precancerous section that took up about a third of my lower intestine. So yeah, I'm a partial colectomy survivor, I guess you would say, and I'm going to live because I got checked. And apparently, according to Gib, in some of his final words, he didn't get checked in time. And that's a damn shame. Get checked. Just do it. I'm here to tell you, it sucks. But just do it. Thank you. Hey everyone, it's Tom. It's FANzine Live. Today we are looking at our crowdfunded zines, and I've got one here called Tell Them of Us. Tell Them of Us follows an alien crew as they stumble upon a time capsule containing the recorded experiences of humanity before, during, and after a complex but self-inflicted calamity. These collected experiences are the tales of triumph, struggles, hopes, and the harsh realities that define the human condition. So what we've got is a post-apocalyptic, I guess you would say, where everything has kind of fallen apart and the humans, it appears, are gone. These aliens find a recording device where people have left stories that they want to be remembered by, that they want humanity to be remembered by. It's an interesting premise for a comic anthology. And yes, Kickstarter has a lot of comic anthologies, but using that as a means to draw in short stories by a number of artists is really intriguing. They did a pretty nice job with it. I like the cover. Looks almost like it's blurred out here. Well, that's intentional because I can see a red line, I can see a yellow line, a blue, a green. I mean, they did some really interesting stuff down there to kind of give a smoke type feel, but also you've got a little bit of oddness here as well. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 creators working on this particular project. I don't know any of these creators. I don't know any of their work, so we just look at it for what it is. But yeah, the last recorded voices of human civilization witnessed through the lens of an alien crew discovering a hastily assembled digital archive of our memories. Our attempt as a species at both legacy and warning, created in the face of oblivion. Nice kind of end paper type look there. Something like this would have been really good in between each of the different contributions. I found it a little challenging to jump immediately from one story to the next, but here's the introduction. Aliens find kind of what's left of Earth, and they find a device that looks kind of like this, where they've got all of this information. The captain of the ship puts on the device and immediately gets overwhelmed with all of the different stories, and the stories then start. This one is about how a scavenger is out looking for gold, and he finds a nice looking gold necklace, but there are other scavengers. They fight over it, and then in order to save himself, he dumps all of the accumulated gold that he's had. Scavengers are thrilled, and he's basically saying if he could get back to the way it was, he'd give all the gold back. It's called Bury Me in Gold. So I mean, that's kind of how the stories are told. Very short, usually not much more than a couple pages. This one is about, I believe they said it was 1992. So I'm thinking this is supposed to be a reflection on the Rodney King riots. Kind of the discussion of man's inhumanity to man, police looking at everybody who was out in the streets as basically being a protester and a thug and a crook. And in the end, it's all about how this one cop helped save this one kid. Kind of a bit about the goodness in humanity. Nice looking piece here. Sower's Requiem, about creation and destruction. Pretty neat. Basically, they're suggesting that mankind has always been looking to kill each other. And at the end of the day, even when society is falling apart, they kill each other. I really liked this page. Love how you go from the bullet hole to having the ambulance drive away to having the spider trying to cover up and fix the hole in the glass. Really powerful ending right there. Another one where they say they're in Russia, and probably the most detailed technically of all of the pieces. The glare is really rough on this. It is a glossy book. It's comic book size. It's paperback format. And holy cow, is that a glossy cover. But yeah, the gloss does show up pretty hard here under the lights. And I've actually moved the lighting around to try to minimize the effect. Some interesting artwork though. Every character has a slight white outline around them. And it almost makes me wonder if the artist maybe drew the characters and then did a quick outline and then just pasted them in over the top of the backgrounds. Could be. In the end, it doesn't matter. It's still a decent story. It's just the story of survival. And in this case, they find a Russian ICBM, but this lady gets locked in and the missile goes off in the silo. So she's toast. And probably her friends are toast, but she doesn't know that. This one's called Weather Balloon. Kind of an interesting piece where looks like we might be talking about UFOs. The digital coloring here on this panel especially, but I mean, you could probably do most of this page, is really masterful. I mean, even the lens flare right there. It's really, really strong. Impressed by that. And then on this one, they just kind of go off into the void. And then the last one is this story of this lady and her robot friend who has a book for a face. Robots talking, the words show up on the screen as if she could read the book as well. She goes back into this, looks like a bunker. It's a library bunker. And she's been protecting the books, so many books. And at the end, we discover is the last human, and she passes away right here, holding Where the Sidewalk Ends, her favorite book. So then we go back to our aliens, and they say they'll share the information, but it's time to go home. Then some thank yous, and that's it. Another very nicely made, high concept type of anthology. I'm not sure this one's going to leave a mark, but I appreciate the effort, and I think that ambition like this in comic storytelling and concepts, it's something that we need to have more of in our zines and in our comics. We need to just aim for the fences and put out some of the best stuff we can and see if we can stretch ourselves as far as content, as far as the production, as far as everything. And if we keep trying to push ourselves, we only will make better stuff. On that front, I'm really glad they did it. So that's it. This is FANzine Live. I hope you leave a comment about this. Do you have any other anthologies that are crowdfunded that you like, that you want to share about? I'd be interested in seeing more, what you think. So feel free to leave a comment, but also like the video, subscribe to FANzine Live, and tell your friends, because I know that this is crowdfunded and it's been a little while since it's been out, but I've never seen anything discussed about it. At least we're doing it here. Tell your friends, they can take a look as well. I'll have information, if I can, from this Dauntless Stories in the show notes. If nothing else, I can probably put a link to the Kickstarter page, which now officially is closed, but at least you can get in on their contacts and that type of stuff. Thank you so much for watching, though. Really glad you joined us. This is FANzine Live. I'm Tom. I will catch you next time.